Well, I am live. Okay. I'm live on Instagram, TikTok, and okay, let me double check because I have no idea how this works. This is a first for me as well. And I'm live on Instagram, I'm live on TikTok, I'm live on YouTube, and we are going to fillet this beautiful turbot. It's a 4 kilogram 4 kilogram turbot. It's a big boy. It's very thick as well. I don't know if you can see it, but it's massive. I'm gonna film it as well. Over there I have my camera. So in between, I'm gonna walk around to put it in the different angles, which I always do. Let me see. Well, thank you very much, guys. Let me know where you're watching from which country. I'm always curious to know that. Let me first put on the camera. Let me quickly do that. And I must say, yes, it's on. So this is also a first for me. I did a live stream before, but it's been a while, and I want to do more of these live stream videos and just get to know you more, interact a little bit more. And like I said, I'm doing it on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So I have two phones, one laptop, and let's just begin. Let's do it. Okay, so the turbot, it's a big boy, but the technique is going to be exactly the same. Also with other flatfishes. So this, well, it's a beautiful 4 kilogram turbot, but if you do it with 500 gram, a 2 kilo, maybe bigger than 4, you will be very lucky if you could get that. Okay, let me quickly. Okay, if you would get that, because this one, it's already massive and it's gonna feed a lot of people. So what you want to do, obviously, first start with a sharp knife. For fish filleting, I always love a sharp tip, because with fish filleting, you're only going to work with the tip. So the tip is going to be very important. And you're going to start here at the tail. And you just make a thin incision in the skin all the way to the main bone, to the spine. And you can already feel it. So if you feel from the head to the tail in the middle, you really feel the spine, and you want to get that knife and just put it on the spine, and then in one straight line to the spine. And you can hear it as well. I can do it once more. Maybe you can hear it. You can really hear the bones, the ribs, and that's pretty cool. And what you want to do then, you want to twist your knife a little bit to the side. So press it down, not all the way down, but just a touch. And then you want to twist your knife, because then in the end, you want to have it horizontal, because then you can really fillet the turbot well without wasting as much meat as possible. So what I'm doing now, make an incision just behind the fin, and then the fillet should come off pretty easily. Okay, let me get that like so. And now just hold it with one here on the other side, and then you're going to put the knife horizontal on the bones and just gently work your way to the other side. And take your time for this, because you don't want to waste a thing. So really just be gentle. And as you can see, it's already coming off. And really keep your knife down, because you really want to hear the bones. It's like making music. If you hear the music, then you're not wasting a thing. And that's what's important, because obviously it's a big fish and you wanna do it justice, you know? And then once you are at the outside, you're going to take it off, and then you have a beautiful fillet. As you can see, beautiful fillet here, a little bit on the outside as well. It has a very nice color and it's massive. And if you can check here, yeah, you can hear it. It's making music. There's a little bit of meat in between the bones. We're going to scrape it off later on. You can use that for delicious farce. I think I uploaded a farce recipe the other day, like 2 days ago. So that's pretty straightforward. It's always an amazing way to use trimmings. And I think it's very important that you also take the time to scrape that clean, because otherwise it's just a waste of the beautiful fish. Now we've got to work clean, because otherwise the fish will move way too much, and that's not really, not really handy. So just work clean. Yeah, as you can see, it's still a little bit wobbly. I'm gonna take 2 more papers just to get a little bit of that beautiful slime off. And that slime is actually a positive thing, because if the fish is so slimy, it means that it's fresh. And yeah, for fish. Don't think I need to explain that, but that's really important. Okay, so now we go to the other side, and it's actually the same. So you move your head, or you move your knife along the head, up the way here. So as you can see, just like so. And then we take our knife and we move across the central spine. And you can feel it. If you just take your finger, put it on the central spine, and then you know where to cut. Like so. Now it's off the central spine, and then just take your knife and do exactly the same. So hold it horizontal, and you want to hear it again. That's the most important thing. Then, like so, and hold it down. And if you're new to filleting a fish, I mean, it's okay. Doesn't matter. You should just give it a go, give it a try. Make sure that your knife is sharp and just give it a go. I mean, maybe not start with a beautiful turbot like this. Oh, that's so dumb. That's so stupid. Okay. Yeah, should be back. Because I have a time limit on my phone for Instagram and TikTok and everything, because otherwise it's just, I'm spending way too much time on those apps. So I need to control myself. And then we have it as well. As you can see, a beautiful fillet. We're going to remove the skin later on, so don't worry about that. You can cook it with skin as well. You can cook the whole turbot as well. That's super delicious. But for now, we're just going to put it on the tray. And the tray is way too small. But the thing is massive. So now what you want to do, we're going to remove the intestines. You can keep them. And I once cooked a turbot, the intestines as well, the liver. It's very delicious. If you cook it sous vide and then slice it really thin, that's super good. That's really, really delicious. So that's always a nice way to prep the liver of the turbot. And this is a sturdy one. Oh, it's so stuck. So I'm going to cut it off. Well, that's fine. Just cut it off and remove the intestines. Like so. Okay, first I'm gonna wash my hands because it's getting messy. And that's what I always say, and that's what I always do when I work in the kitchen. I want to work as clean as possible. Right now, for me, this is already way too much. This is way too much of a mess. So first, I'm going to clean my knife a little bit, and then the board as well. So just remove a little bit of the blood and intestines. A turbot this big always has quite a lot of blood, but that's okay. And you can see it here as well. It's dripping out here. So as you can see, but don't be shocked by that. That's normal. So just work clean, have a clean cutting board, because otherwise the fish will wiggle like crazy, and that's just not that nice to work with. So now we go to the other side, and it's exactly the same. First, find the central spine. As you can see, I think you guys should be able to see it. Here is the spine. So just take your knife, and this time I'm starting on the head side because I'm a lefty. So I always work from right to left when filleting a fish, because for me that's just easy. So I start here on the head side, make an incision, and then move all the way down to the tail. Now, while you feel it, you can already really feel the bones. And that's what you want, because you don't want to feel any meat. Because when you feel meat, it means that you wasted fish. And wasting fish, yeah, that's a disgrace. So we have the beautiful turbot. And now we're going to make some music again. And that's, like I said before, the most important thing. Just you want to hear your knife going on the bones. You want to hear that's what you want to hear. So make it an incision, follow it along the head, and then just go down all the way to the outside. And now I'm here. So it's pretty much loose from the bones. And then just take the knife and cut it off. And every time you do this, you might notice it, but every time I did this, I pulled the fillet up, put the knife on the side where it's still attached, and then just cut it off. And just gently repeat this until the whole fillet is off. Don't go too fast. Don't want to be the quick guy, because you're working with an animal here, and that's quite important. I mean, every gram of fillet that's wasted is definitely it's too much. So as you can see, beautiful fillet. Yeah, the tray it's way too small, but that's okay. Okay, so now we go to the final fillet, and here you have the head, and on the other side are the eyes. So here it's pretty easy to notice where the head is, but here on this side you really need to feel where the head starts, and I think it starts here. So just make an incision, cut along the head, and then it is no longer attached. Then we move it, so we turn it around, and we repeat the process that we just did. So just follow the central spine, and again, and I'm going to repeat this many more times, you want to hear the bones. So really focus on that, because if you don't hear the bones, you're wasting fish. And like I said, wasting fish, that's a disgrace. So, almost done with this bad boy. Then after that, I'm just going to take a little spoon, or a big spoon, doesn't matter. And we're going to clean the remaining fillet, the remaining meat that's been stuck between the bones. And we can use that for a delicious farce. I know many of you are going to ask, like, recipe. Don't worry, I'm going to share the recipe later on. So that's completely fine. And if you want to have it right now, I uploaded a farce recipe a couple days ago on my YouTube channel, but also on my Instagram, TikTok, all the way. So, final fillet, that's off. And now the check. And if you want to check it well, there's a big light, and you want to see your hand between the bones. So that's quite important. And as you can see really see it and that means that I've almost wasted no fish. So that's perfect. That's done. Let me quickly check if you guys have any questions. You're watching from Düsseldorf, Norway. Yeah, that's incredible, guys. How much did the fish cost? Well, it's 4 kilograms, but I think it was 20 euros a kilo. So this is 80 euros, and 20 euros a kilo for a turbot this big. I think it's a very nice price. It's very pretty decent. But these turbot can be crazy expensive. Okay, wash my hands again. So then we can remove the leftover, the trimmings that are between the bones. Watching from Sweden, yeah, super cool, guys. Really cool. It's always quite surprising to me how many people watch all around the world, and I am, feeling blessed that you guys give me all the support that you do. So now I have the spoon, and this is pretty simple, but it's gonna make a huge difference. So just take the spoon and clean the fish that's left between the bones. It's not much, but it's something. And I mean, every gram that you waste is a gram too much. So just take a spoon and scrape the remaining meat that's left between the bones. And as you can see, yeah, not much, but it's something. Okay. And once it's done, we can just remove the head. We're going to remove the cheeks of the turbot as well, because those are very delicious. If you braise the cheeks, I mean braised turbot cheeks, yeah, that's way too good. That's way too delicious. So definitely don't throw those out. If you do, just keep them to make a broth or a sauce. Oh, and as you can see over here, I left a little bit too much on the bones. So that's a shame, but it's fine because we're going to use it anyway. We're not throwing anything away. Maybe that's also nice to tell, because that's a question I get a lot. Because my recipes, the quantities of my recipes are quite big. They're restaurant size. They're not really home cook size. And that's because I've worked in the restaurant industry for a long, long time. And now I try to just share knowledge and inspire the next generation. But I'm not throwing anything away. Really, nothing is wasted. I am keeping everything, and I am just using it for parties, for dinners, or I just eat it myself at home. I mean, that's also fine, right? Gotta enjoy life. And there you have it, a beautiful clean carcass. And it's even cleaner than before. You can really see my hand move. And that means that I've done a pretty good job, actually. So that's good, right? Yeah. And then over here, you have the cheeks. So don't throw them away. Really, they're delicious. And if you want to make a broth out of the bones, you definitely can. I would give it a good rinse on some running cold water for a little while, just to remove any blood stains. Remove the eyes and the gills, because those are very bitter. And it's just my opinion. So don't kill me in the comments. And then it's good to go. So now we're going to remove, gonna put this on the other tray. I'm gonna keep it in the fridge for later. Now we're going to remove the skin of the fillets. First of all, clean your board. That's the most important thing. Let me just take a little dough scraper, if I can find, yes. It's always handy. Those things, you can buy them for 50 cents in the cooking stores or at the restaurant stores, but they make your life really, really easy. So just clean it a little bit because you want to work clean. Yeah, it's a mess. I hate working in a mess. I'm quite OCD like that, but it's fine. For the live stream, we just continue, we just go. So we take the fillet, and what you can see here on the side, let me put it like that. Here, this is the fillet of the fish. And over here, well, you can still cook it, but it's quite loose. It's very soft. It's very delicious as well. Most of the time, I keep it and I use it for the farce. So what I first do is I use my finger to loosen the fillet from that side. And then I take my knife. It's a beautiful, long, very sharp knife, so be careful. And then you make an incision at the tail side. And then you turn your knife. Now, as you can see, because a little bit of the fillet is already loose from the skin, and you can grab it. So that's where you're going to pull it tight. And while you pull it tight, you're going to move your knife, and you're just going to gently cut the fillet off the skin. So what I'm doing, I'm holding my knife a little bit horizontal, and I'm not moving my knife much at all, just a little wiggle. And while I'm doing that, I'm also wiggling the skin. And then, as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it, yeah, but there's nothing left on the skin, so nothing is wasted. Yeah, that's really important for me. And then here you have the fillet, you have the sides. It's a little bit attached over here, so I'm going to cut it off. And this is the side, so it's very nice as well. You can cook it. It's super good. It's very delicious. But I'm just going to keep it now. I'm going to turn it into the beautiful farce. Find the recipe on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram, TikTok. Posted it anywhere, so don't worry. And then I'm just going to trim the fillet to make it a little bit tidier. And again, trimmings you can use for the farce. Nothing is wasted. Don't worry about that. And you end up with a beautiful, clean, and very beautiful, delicious fillet of turbot. It's very thick, so you can braise this, you can pan fry it. I think the preferred reason for this fillet, I would just portion it, season it with some salt, then in a very hot pan with some sunflower oil or any neutral oil. And then once it starts to color, you're just going to add a knot of butter and just baste it like crazy. Just baste it. And then when the bottom side, so that's the beautiful side, when that's golden, turn it around, baste it for a couple more seconds, and then take it off. I mean, not much to add on that. That's just, it's very beautiful. So then, going to continue with the other fillets as well to remove the skin. Let me quickly put a new piece of foil. Oh, it's already underneath. I have my prep ready. So that's what I always do. I put 2 layers. So one for when the skin is still attached. And then once the skin is removed, I put another layer underneath. So then you can just easily put it on. Nothing to worry about. So again, exactly the same. Use your finger to remove the fillet from the side. And once it's completely loose, take your long sharp knife. You can do it with a filleting knife as well, but as you can see, you might be surprised by this. The fillet is bigger than the knife. So it's better to use a long, for me this is a meat knife actually, because I portion meat with it, but it's also great for this. So just make sure you make an incision on the tail side and then continue. And now here for turbot, it's going to be a little bit tricky because this is the top side of a turbot. And you can see a turbot, it has a bottom side, so that's the white side, and it has a darker side. And the darker side has these little nubbets on it. They're really hard, and they make the removal of the skin a little bit more difficult. So you just want to do exactly the same, or you're going to not put so much pressure on it, because otherwise these little nubbets, and yeah, I can feel them. I think most chefs know what I mean, but they're really hard. So you want to put a little bit less pressure on it. There's going to be like 0.5 millimeter more fish that's going to be left on the skin, but otherwise you're going to kill your knife and you're going to have these nubbets on the fillet, and you don't want it because they're not that nice, trust me. So this for the farce, and then we're just going to trim the fillet. Or a little bit, most of the time when I fillet a turbot, there's going to be a little line with bones, because this is just from the central spine. And then again, a beautiful fillet. So these two are the bigger fillets, and these are the small fillets. And as you can see as well, here is where the intestines were. So that's something you need to clean very well. And there's a little membrane on top, so you can just use that to easily remove it. It's very simple, pretty straightforward. Maybe, because you guys have seen this twice now, maybe I can, well, hello, from Brazil, from Florida, from Paris. What's the brand of the knife? Yeah, guys, it's a Japanese knife. So, okay, I'm gonna try to pronounce it. It's a Taigan. It's Tangan. It's a beautiful knife. I'll put a link in my stories on Instagram and TikTok later on if you want to see it. Yeah, I think it's incredible, because you're watching from Hong Kong, you're watching from Morocco, from all around the world. Incredible, guys, really incredible. Maybe if you guys have some questions for me, now is the time, because this is something you've seen already. Little Q&A in between. Maybe you have some questions. Yeah, it's incredible. From all around the world. Amsterdam, Australia, Tunisia. But if you have some questions, just hit them in the comments. I'm happy to help. Also happy to help if you have some questions on what you're cooking this weekend. Don't worry about it. What to do with the skin behind dehydration? Well, that's actually a really good question. What I most of the time do is I dry the skin. Because when you dry the skin, it becomes very hard, but then you deep fry it, and then it becomes super crispy. It puffs up a little bit as well, so it souffles a little bit. And it's very delicious to eat, to serve as a garnish, to serve as a little cracker. But that's actually, I think, the only thing I know on what to do with the skin, because otherwise, let me think. No, I think that's the only thing I know on what to do with the skin. So sorry about that if I'm disappointing you. And otherwise, you can also bake it. Because right now I'm showing you how to fillet the turbot, but if you remove the intestines from the turbot and cook it on the bones with the skin on and everything in the oven, that's delicious. That's really too good. Okay, again, for the farce, and just trim the sides a little bit. Be gentle. You don't want to waste anything. This you can keep for the farce as well. I'm not going to try to clean it because it's going to be super thin with what you're left with. So I'm just going to put it into the farce because then it has way more value. And I see I left a little bit of skin on there. don't want to be called a fraud, so just take the knife and gently remove it as well. So guys, there you have it. Let me organize it on the tray a little bit before showing it to you. The beautiful fillets, big fillets, smaller fillets. Like I said, you can pan fry them, you can fill them. You can also, it's maybe a little bit of a waste because this is such a beautiful thick fillet, but you can also slice it in the middle and fill it with the farce, then put it into the oven. That's really good. Let me quickly wash my hands and then try if I can maybe answer some of your questions for this weekend on what you're cooking or just a general question. Okay, the knife. Yeah, I'm going to. Oh, yeah, you can also catch a bear with the skins. Yeah, that's definitely true. Oh, yeah. So why did I decide on becoming a full-time content creator instead of a chef in the kitchen? Well, sometimes I still do cook in the kitchen. That's been a while ago, actually. I just love sharing and creating new dishes. That's one of the reasons why I became a chef, because I love to create new stuff. So I try new techniques. I also educate myself on new techniques from chefs all around the world. And right now, I just think that's, for me, the most important thing is sharing knowledge and trying to inspire others. It's what I love doing. It's what I try to do every day. But yeah, so far it's going pretty well because of you guys, because of all the support, and that means so much. I do miss working in the kitchen, so eventually I will definitely open up my own place to give you guys the opportunity to finally taste my food. But up until then, I'm going to do a couple of pop-ups, forehand dinners, and just work with all our amazing chefs around the world. Right now, I have the new series, the Cooking with the Star series, from which the second episode came online yesterday. So go check it out. Find a link in my bio or just find it on my YouTube channel. That video was with Jeroen 18. It was incredible to make. It was really very inspiring. And yeah, just let me know in the comments if you guys liked it as well. And go give some love to that video, because right now it's not really performing that well because of the algorithm. So it definitely needs a little bit more love because it's incredible. Okay. Let me just, I really appreciate all the support, guys. Really. I'm like I said, going to share the knife in my stories later on if you want to see it. Unfortunately, I cannot become your husband because my fiance will be pretty mad on that. Where did I work? Well, actually, a lot of people right now tell me like, oh, you must work way less hours now that you don't work in the restaurant industry anymore. But I work way more hours. Right now I work 7 days a week. I work around 16 to 18 hours a day. Because making content is just not filming it, putting it online. I also have to edit. I do my own website. I need to create new things. I need to answer the messages that you guys send me, which I absolutely love. So don't worry about that. It's a lot more work, but that's totally fine because it's something that I love doing. So then it really doesn't matter. But I've worked at some amazing restaurants here in the Netherlands, but also one in Spain. And I think I'm just very grateful for my old chefs. So my teachers who gave me the opportunity to learn quite fast and who invested all their time in me. That's something I'm pretty grateful for. So guys, okay, let's answer 2 more, and then I'm going back to the filming. And I just remembered that I totally forgot to set my camera in different angles. So I think I need to buy another turbot to do it once more. But that's fine. That's fine. Let's answer 2 more. Okay, what I actually do for a living. So yeah, I'm a content creator. I make videos. I develop recipes. I develop new dishes, and I just share those. That's what I do for a living. And it's it's all because of you guys. Yeah, the comments about the dish being tens of thousands of dollars are also coming in. Yeah, yeah, that's fine, guys. Yeah, I think I just try to share that you can do it yourself as well. So it's one of the comments I have accepted. So if you put $1,000 underneath a beautiful dish, it's not going to be $1,000, guys. Come on. But if it is, it's probably worth it, and it's probably way too cheap still if you think about how much our chefs work to make a dish. Because a chef might work 16 hours, but he's only getting paid for 8. So just keep that in mind. I know not many of you have that mentality, but some might do. But it's totally fine. Yeah, turbot is expensive though. Yeah, but this turbot was around 80 euros. It's 4 kilos, 20 euros a kilo. And I'm going to, I think, half of it I'm going to just pan fry. So make a pan bloody hot, little drizzle of oil, season with salt, and then just pan fry until it starts to become golden brown. Once it's golden brown, add a knot of butter, and then just baste. And then when you see the edge starting to become really brown, like super brown, then turn it around, baste it for a couple more seconds, and it should be perfect. So other half I'm going to stuff with the farce that I'm going to make from the trimmings. Okay, final question. A lot of love. Really appreciate it, guys. I actually think, yeah, the best way to cooking a brill or Dover sole is also just baking it on the bones. You can take it off and you can fill it with a farce. That's one of my favorite things to do as well. Otherwise, just pan fry it, add a little bit of butter, and cook it on the bones because that's incredible. That's really something. Yeah, I just appreciate all the love, guys. Not many questions, just a lot of love, and that's fine. Yeah, I do make enough money with making videos. Pretty straightforward on that. YouTube, I do YouTube. I'm a content creator for Granda as well. That's an app where chefs share their knowledge and recipes. So I'm a content creator for them as well. And I just work with other amazing brands who sponsor my videos. And that's giving me the opportunity to do what I absolutely love. And it's also because of you guys. Because if you guys didn't watch the videos, if you guys didn't give the love that you do, then I wasn't able to do this. I've been doing this now for, I think, 20 months, something about that. Yeah, let's say 20 months. In the beginning, it was really tough, but right now, it's just a dream to be able to share knowledge and inspire others. So that's pretty cool. Okay, fine. Really final question. Yeah, I need to go. I need to go to other countries for sure. I want to visit all the countries in the world to cook with all you guys. That would be incredible. I right now. Let me. Well, yeah. Let me see because the question came way too fast. Which soft? Yeah, if you want to make a sauce for a lobster, I would just say make a lobster bisque because throwing away the head would be so wasteful. I have a beautiful lobster hollandaise recipe on my YouTube channel. That's the sauce that I made for a dish for my Christmas menu. That was really incredible. The flavor was so creamy and so much umami. That's really something you could definitely do. Yeah, where I worked at a lot of Michelin star restaurants here in the Netherlands. I worked at a 2 Michelin star restaurant, Ron Blauw. I worked at 1 Michelin star restaurant, Le Rive in Amsterdam. Ron Blauw is also in Amsterdam. Worked at the Bokkerdoorns. I was the sous chef there, also 2 Michelin star restaurant. Worked at Moon in Amsterdam. A lot of just beautiful places. And I also had a couple of really beautiful restaurants before I started working at the Michelin star places. And I think people always focus on the Michelin stars, but you definitely don't need to forget where you begin. And those chefs, they gave me my foundation. And without a foundation, it's pretty hard to build more knowledge. Or let's say it like this: if you don't have a foundation, you also cannot build a beautiful house. So it's pretty simple like that. Okay, guys. Oh, you want to see Charlie? Yeah, Charlie is here somewhere. I'm not sure. Charlie. I'm not sure where he is actually. I think he's in front of the door because Bo is not home at the moment. So he's laying at the door waiting for Bo to come home. But he's not coming, even for some fishy. Maybe I can trick him with a little koekje. Because in the Netherlands we say koekje instead of cookie. Charlie, wil je koekje? Oh yeah, there he's coming. This dog will do anything for food, really. Okay. We're going to say goodbye for now. Yeah, you guys give way more love to Charlie than to me. We're going to say goodbye, guys. I'm going to continue making this video because tomorrow I'm going to Austria, to Granda actually, to the creator event. Super excited about that. So I need to finish this video now because otherwise I won't have any content for next week. Really appreciate all the support again. Hope you guys enjoyed the filleting process on the turbot. Wish you a very great Saturday, right? Yeah, wish you a very great Saturday and an amazing weekend. Until next time. See you guys. I need to turn off.